Welcome back to No Shortcuts YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about how to make tough decisions. We struggle to make tough decisions, whether it's just getting in and out of a relationships, making a career change, deciding who we want to help or who not to help, or just moving to a different area. It can all be a lifestyle change that we struggle with. When it comes to making tough decisions, I see people really get stuck and really set themselves up for failure because they made a tough decision or they refuse to make a tough decision based on circumstances and things around them that they did not prepare themselves for. So in this video, I'm hoping to help you see, and not hope, but I will provide you a strategy or some things that you can look at that will help you make better, tough decisions. You do not want to find yourself making decisions based off emotions, going from place to place, and not really solving a problem that you think revolves around other people when the problem is actually yourself. I've seen people move from one town to another town thinking that they made a great decision, and that decision turned out being just as worse or bad, worse than where they were prior to, because that decision wasn't sound. They didn't think it through. They blamed other people for their issues. So just let me get into it. So one of the first things that you need to do, you need to evaluate your position. Know that you've done the work, meaning that if it is your attempt to leave a situation, move on to something else, that you've done everything that you possibly can to prepare yourself for the decision that you're about to make, that you would accept it. Take accountability for your actions. You know where you're at in life. You're not blaming other people. And the decision that you are making is based on you. So know your position, know yourself, make sure you've done the work and you're being responsible and accountable for your actions before you decide to make a tough, and that'll help you to make a tough decision. Another thing that you can do is remove all the emotions. Remove the feelings of guilt and shame when it comes to making tough decisions. A lot of times when it comes to making tough decisions, we struggle when we get this personal feeling of, I really am thinking about myself. I really am focusing on myself. And we start to feel guilty. And I get it. I've been there, but you got to get out of feeling guilty or feeling selfish when you are focusing on yourself. One of the ways that we receive that feeling is from the people that is around us. A lot of times, if you're making a tough decision not to help somebody out or to move on in your life, people will pull on your heartstrings. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, we're family. I thought you wouldn't do this to me. Or it could be in a relationship, or I love you and why would you do this to me at this time? Sometimes friends and family members, man, they will even make up situations when it comes to death, sickness, hardship, all these different things to try to pull on your heartstrings from trying to stop you from making a tough decision. But you got to focus on yourself when it comes to that. You got to get over the emotional part. And like I said earlier, when you know you've done the best that you actually can and you evaluate a situation, and even though you may have to leave a person, move off of a person, kick a person out, it doesn't matter where it may be. You may have to make a tough decision, leaving the neighborhood that you grew up in, moving to another area, and you got family members are like, you're going to not be able to do this or you ain't going to be close by. When you're making a tough decisions like that and you have set yourself down and realized that, listen, this is the only way that I'm going to get my objectives accomplished. This is the only way that I can move and not have this baggage. This is the only way for me to be able to be successful where I can focus on what I need to do. You need to make that decision and throw all of that emotional family stuff that people can bring to you, throw it out of the window. So one of the next strategies is focusing on yourself. Focusing on yourself does not mean that you're selfish. It just means that you come to the reality that you got to put yourself first and make yourself a priority. You cannot help others without being the best version of yourself. You don't know how many times that I've seen people spend so much of their lives helping or trying to help people to no end, and they wear themselves out through stressing and tear their own self apart throughout the process to help other people, even put themselves in the grave. And the people that they spent so much time trying to help, as soon as they were gone, moved right on to another person to leech off of. We're talking about strategies or things that you can use when it comes to making a tough decision. And one of the things, the easiest things that you can do is stop being a hero. Or let me make it real simple for you. Stop doing things trying to make everybody like you. We want people to like us so much or view us as a good person that we will constantly make dumb decisions. We will constantly watch a situation that we know is not getting better, and we remain there because we feel that it's making the situation better for the people around us, and they just using you. Stop trying to be what they call nice. Who cares if they don't understand? One of the things that I've seen when it comes to that, man, where people struggle with situations like that and making hard decisions, just say you got a decision, you got a family member that's on drugs. And it's awful to look at. It's awful to see that you got a family member that's down and out. And what you decide to do is take them in, bring them in your home, and thinking that, okay, I got them here. I'm going to make this decision to help them out. And if they're here, I can make their lives better. But the same individual family member that you call yourself helping, that's an addict on drugs, they will be in your home. They will steal things from you to go and sell it to get more drugs. They will put you and your family in danger. Why? Because they're not interested in getting off of those drugs. One of the hardest things when it comes to making the life decisions is letting people help themselves, because you feel guilty. You want to be a hero. You don't want to be the person. You want to be a nice person. You don't want to be the person that say, well, I didn't give them a place to stay. No, what you can do is provide them a resource. Do the best that you can. Provide them a resource like, hey, here's a drug place. I'm going to take you down there, and you need to start working on getting off of these drugs. I'm going to tell you, when a person do not want to get off of drugs, you are not helping them. You ain't doing one thing to help them. They're going to have to want to give it up themselves. And you got to get over that guilt. Like I mentioned earlier, you have to take care of yourself and make the tough decision to say, you know what? You go ahead and do what you got to do, but you're not going to be here. You're not going to come here. You're not going to disrupt my peace. I am moving on. That's why I mentioned earlier in this video, when you done did the best that you can, let that be good enough. Move on and protect yourself and make the decision to keep yourself at peace and keep yourself at your best. Because when you're at your best, that's when you can really help others. If not, you can keep that person on drugs in your home or bring that person that's going to disrupt your peace. All you are doing is enabling them, and you're not helping them. You're not helping them. One of the last things that when it comes to making tough decisions, and I know there's a lot. Listen, this is a new YouTube channel, no shortcuts. Please like the video, subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel, and that's from the sincerity of my heart, because I believe I just want to be a part of those of us that are on YouTube that still want to be authentic and realistic when it comes to self-help, self-improvement, making changes in your lives, the things that I see people really struggle with every day. So take your time, give the video a like. I really appreciate it. So one of the last things that I want you to look at when it comes to making tough decisions is bet on yourself. When you done did the work spiritually, mentally, and physically, and no one else believe in you, you got to believe in yourself. Have the discipline to block out the world and make the tough decision that most people are too afraid and too coward to do. You have to be able, when it comes to making tough decisions, is dealing with the sacrifice. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. There are no solutions, only trade-offs. So you're going to have to sacrifice something when you're making a tough decision. If you refuse to make that sacrifice, you're going to find yourself stuck. Just know that that's part of it. You're going to have to sacrifice something. When I wanted to move on away from my marriage, I knew that all of the times that I was able to put my little girl to bed at night, that opportunity was gone. But it was better for my health. It was better for her to not see me in a situation that's stressful or in a situation where I may not be my best self. So there are trade-offs. There are things that you're going to lose. Sometimes you're going to lose people. But just know when you're on that journey for the right thing and your heart is pure and you're moving in the right directions, you're going to be able to replace a lot of that stuff. It may be tough for a little bit, but you don't give up and you move on. Remember, making the hard decisions that most people are too coward to do is not something that everybody does. It is very rare. So if you want to be the rare example and be successful, listen, you got to make those decisions. You got to make those tough decisions. And sometimes they're going to require a sacrifice, but you can do it. I've done it, and I know you can. Thank you for watching this video. This has been No Shortcuts YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next one.